Hello, my name is Vojta Rocek. I will be speaking about two companies today. First one is called Trologic. We are consultants who are coming to projects when they are at their last mile. They are before failing ultimately. And we are trying to restore them and fix them. So I've seen a lot of different projects in a lot of different states, and we saved few of them. Trologic, because I think about us as a bunch of trolls. We always came and asked very unpopular questions like, why? Why did you build your Hadoop cluster? Why did you bought so many Redshift servers? Why? And I think these questions and looking for meaning is very important when we are talking about big data. Based on our experiences, we started a startup called Stories, and I will be speaking about it in a while. These are some of my clients, or were some of my clients, or projects I've been part of. It's maybe more than 60. These were the startups I was working with. I really love startups because they want to do really a lot fast. I think I've seen this map already in some presentation before. This is big data landscape, all the tools you can use, all the infrastructures, all the analytics. I worked with many platforms, not everything from this, but a lot. And they all trying to solve similar issues. How do we get insights from data? When I'm working with startups, and we start with the data, and I ask everyone, what reports do you have? Everyone has something in mind. There may be 20 different reports, and I ask all of them, all the guys, could you put a price tag on the report? Could you tell me what ROI of every report is? Could you tell me how much money we will earn or save? And in 95%, they have no idea. So how do you prioritize in a world like this? What is more common, I think, that even though we have access to all these data, nobody is using them. Like there are some people, you have data scientists, you have data analysts, but business people almost never go to these fancy tools looking for answers themselves. You have Tableau, you have Looker, you have good data, and you still use good data analyst, you still use analysts as a proxy to look for the data. Everybody is still making their decisions based on gut feeling, and I think the whole feedback loop on decisions is broken. Nobody. There are very few people who can articulate hypotheses, who understand statistics properly, who know how to use data. What is even more important, and what I see in every case, is that the data analytics is used in the moment when it's already too late. You will take your best data people and put them into a situation where the whole village is already burning. There are burning children running around, and you tell them you have 10 minutes to put out the fire and kill all the terrorists. So they will do their best job, and the chopper is coming, and they are moved away. So in most cases, it's already late. What I also see is that there is almost no collaboration. To be able to put comment under the report is not collaboration. To be able to send a report in Excel or link through email is not a collaboration. It's just using email to send reports. As a last chance, when everything failed, everybody is like, okay, let's do a big data. Let's connect all the data we have to one big data lake, which is more like data swamp, and it will somehow magically help us to understand everything better. I'm not sure about that. I've seen projects like this. I don't think that's the real answer for everything. So what I see is that big data is coming to more noise and more distractions. More data you have, more noise you have, more distractions you have, less is actually done. This was GIF before, and the guys are shoveling the money really fast. So in the end, the management will always ask how much it costs and what we are getting from that. And calculating ROI on any big data project is almost impossible. We are doing it in some distant idea in mind that it will bring us more money. Everybody else is doing it. So why not? When we went again and again through all these issues, we stopped and we were looking for ultimate software which will fix all of that. And we didn't find it. So we tried to write our own. In my mind, this is how it looks now. CEO is on one bank. There is big, deep hole between him and the data. And you can try to put some analytic guys, some software, some tools between them. I don't like it. So I went over 20, maybe 30 different CEOs, and I asked them, how do you work with data? And in most cases, they get an email once a week, once a day, once a month, which looks like something like this. Some numbers. Some are green, some are red. And I asked them, what would you really like to get? And they told me they would like to hear a story. Something interesting, something important. Yeah, that's why you have a business analyst or data analyst or this guy who should make these stories. So we created an engine which go through all the possible combination and reports which can be made. It's like millions and millions different slices, different reports every day. And we came up with this. These are real stories we found. There are millions of them. They are about different brands, about different market demands, about different regions, customer segments, or about competition. And we asked the CEOs, what next? What would be the next thing you would ask your data analyst? And they told us he would like to know the value of everything. So we put a value on every story we found. This story is for £20,000 per day. When you have a value for every problem, for every story, you can sort them. You can find top 10 most important problems or opportunities. We asked, what would be next thing you would like to know or do? And they were like, well, I would like to put it on someone. So we said, okay, every story has an owner. For example, Bob. And he can assign it to someone else. If 3 days, nothing is happening, the story gets escalated, all the ticket management, which we know from support systems. And we came up with the front end, which look like this. There are topics, some patterns which found the problems or the stories itself, value, period, and owner. We're like, okay, what would be the next thing? They want collaboration. And in the moment, you are not collaborating about the report, but about the story itself. It gets all different aspects we never knew about before. For example, when you make a decision and the story will end, you fix the problem. And 1 year later, similar or same problem, same story will arise. You can reopen the story which you have before. And even if you have a new people in the team, they will see what went to successful solution of the problem year before. And it started to look like this. This is our detail of the story. There is some trend line, some discussion going on. You can reassign it. It's very simple. Also, every day you get some updates. If the problem is still persisting or it ran away, and you can put a decision on it. In a moment, you will start looking for decisions people are making. You are able to see which of these decisions are working and which are not working. And after that, you ultimately see which of your decision makers are making decisions which are working and which are not. So we built Stories, our platform, as a bridge between CEO and his data. Stories. I really like the multiple metaphors which are hidden there. The metaphor I love the most is a film set. And I think every person, every decision maker in a company should be a director of his own story from the beginning. We don't believe in the typical business roles, so we came with our new ones. It's like the characters in the movie. You have a captain. Captain is something like country manager, a sales director, sales controlling, or CEO. He has no stories, but he sees everything. Then there are heroes. Heroes are the decision makers. The brand manager, category manager, or sales representatives. They are doing the hard job. And we came with explorers who are data analysts. In our worldview, they are not the one who is sitting between the captains, heroes, and the company, but they are somewhere on the border. And if you need them, you can call them, and they will give you a perfect expertise on the problem itself. But they shouldn't be a bottleneck in your company between you and decisions. So here we see them collaborate. And since all of this is working, we can move from a village which are already burning to a situation like this when we are preventing the problems when they are small ones. And we are not reactive, we are proactive. What I hear most with the implementations we are currently running is for the first time in years, I know exactly where we are losing money, which is something really, really, really sad I hear. All the big data, and the guy who told me that didn't get the help he really needed. We have cut problem solved from weeks to days. I said that too, yeah. But the most interesting thing for me is that for the first time, we can say how much money the whole solution actually brought. We can sum all the opportunities, we can tell you how many of them you solved successfully, and we can tell you that our solution actually bring you any money. Who can say that about their big data initiative in nowadays world? These are things we are currently solving in retail. Banking and finance, we see a very big demand from the whole finance sector and from the CFOs especially. And we are doing some stuff for governments in CEE about healthcare. For me, big data, business intelligence, reporting is about getting less noise and expecting more actions. Thank you very much. Is there anyone who has a question?
Hi. Does it work? You said sometimes it's too late for companies to start doing like data science, analytics stuff. So when it's too late? In what situation you say it's too late?
I was talking about that the data scientists are put into situation when they have to just assess what went wrong and how to fix it next time, but they have no real chance to prevent the problem. Because company itself will understand that it has a problem, like in month or 2 months after it actually started happening. Maybe I'm not clear, I will try it again. Data scientists nowadays are trying to solve problems which are already there and they are running for a long time. I want them to be solving problems which are at the beginning, which we know they are aggressive, which we know they will become a big problems. What I see is that 70% of businesses are using their data department or data analyst department very reactively. These people are there just for explaining what went wrong and not looking for what will be the problem. Okay.
How do you value the story?
Yeah. We have 30, maybe 40 different patterns for what we are looking in data. Over that are a lot of programming to verify if there is a problem or not. And above that is some predictions and layer which will calculate the problem, which will try to calculate the value of the problem. Simply, we understand or we know from the data how things should behave, and we know if they are not behaving as predicted. Anyone else?
Hi, when we speak about making a story, there has to be a theme ready, right? So most of the time, like what I've found is the client himself is not clear what exactly he wants from a data analyst. So can you talk about some use case in which it was really difficult to identify the client's problem so that you can, monitor if he says my business is not working fine or it's not selling? It's a very, generic. So how you shape up your story around it?
We had a client from a food business. I cannot be specific, so I have to try to move it a little. And he came to us telling us that his specific kind of soup is not behaving correctly and he's actually decreasing market share and everything. And he was focusing on that market soup, on that kind of soup. And we ran our engine, and it came up that it's not problem of the soup, but problem of the specific packaging, which he have the soup in. So the whole line of food which was packaged in this specific packaging was going down, but 80% of that was soup, so he saw the problem as a soup problem, and we saw that there is a pattern which is above that, which encloses it whole. So I don't believe that much in hypothesis business people have about their business. Putting trust into algorithms we developed because they run a much more deeper and broader analysis of everything. If the analyst team should go report by report through everything we do every night automatically, it would take them weeks, maybe months. So they only can go after things they can dream of, they can imagine. We go after everything. There is one more question. I love questions.
I have two questions. How fast can you deploy it, and how much does it cost?
Yeah. I'm from e-commerce world, and my co-founders are from the SAP world and from other enterprise worlds. And we tried to design a solution which will be cheap and will be deployable in days, maybe weeks. So our current implementations are about 6 weeks, and we are trying to do it as fast as possible. I think 2 weeks are the minimum. And the price begins at £5,000 a month as AAS. And it depends on the configuration and everything. No other questions? There is one. Perfect.
I think there was a question about the timing. Is it too late? Is it too late to really? Can you be late in terms of the time in terms of the activities? And I would say, yes. In most cases, by the time you acquire the data science team, the timing of the insight is very important. So yes, you can be too late because time does matter for organizations. The type of insights can actually be outdated. You could have those insights can actually change dynamically on month-to-month basis.
That's perfect true. Yeah.
So that's why we're going with real-time insights or near real-time analytics. Real-time data science as a service. And the whole goal is to really take those insights or the recipe for making those insights and putting them in place so that you can generate dynamic insights as market forces change, as consumer behaviors change, et cetera. So what could be valid today, what you discover today might not be valid for, within the next couple of months. So.
And that's why I think
exactly, right.
The manual work of data scientists and data analysts must be brought out from the process. Everything should be automated. Anything else? Okay. Thank you very much.